On this episode of the Twin Falls TravelCast, we hop on mountain bikes to explore one of the natural wonders of the Twin Falls region, the City of Rocks, with its varying trails and awe-inspiring views. And we visit a nearby restaurant that'll have your mouth watering long before you even get there. That's all right now on the Twin Falls TravelCast. The new pioneers of the City of Rocks ride in on two wheels and can be found either leisurely pedaling through the sagebrush and admiring the billion-year-old granite rock formations weathered into the buildings of the City of Rocks, or they could be gritting their teeth to climb the hills and race down the valleys. The reserve has more than 14,000 acres of land, much of it covered with trails, that, as Matthew Flieger of the Minnecazu Chamber of Commerce says, offers something different every day.
It's a good combination of nice trails, beautiful landscape, varied terrain, and scenic outlooks. And you come into these high desert areas with conifers and aspens and a lot of variety of birds and reptiles, and you can see that in the trails as well.
The City of Rocks offers a rawness and a real sense of independence that, when coupled with the challenge of the trails and the opportunity to experience some of the history of the winning of the West, makes riding here very unique. Every turn, every trail offers something novel, a chance to ride fast or with technique, a pioneer's name written in axle grease on a rock, or a prehistoric Native American pictograph. It all feels like you're the first to see it.
Getting out in the fresh air, seeing, especially in this area, the raw landscape, not a lot of people, and so you really get to see kind of nature pristine.
Surprising to some who are just getting started or have struggled to make fitness a consistent part of their lives is that it can be fun, and the City of Rocks and Greater Twin Falls area help people change their thinking on fitness every day. Touring, biking, climbing, or walking the City of Rocks and its many historic and scenic niches is not only good, it's good for you.
Hopefully you catch that bug and it takes control and it gets you off your couch and out into the wilderness and out into, the lakes, forests, and rivers. Within 50 miles of say, the Magic Valley, you have thousands of different opportunities to see historic, cultural, and recreational areas.
The City of Rocks is not just about biking and climbing. The majority of its 85,000 yearly visitors come to sightsee the historic, scenic, and cultural landscape that makes up the Western mythology, and camp in its serene and well-kept campgrounds and parks. Programs set up by park rangers, like Park Superintendent Wallace Keck, educate while they entertain at the City of Rocks and nearby Castle Peak Park. And they do it come snow or sunshine.
Well, first of all, we've got spectacular camping in the rocks. And then I happen to be a bird watcher and wildflower photographer and just love that kind of experience here. This is pretty natural country. Upper Great Basin. It's different than the Snake River, so you can be in southern Idaho, just come up over the mountain range and you're in a whole new world. We have some winter sports here that is relatively undiscovered. For instance, we offer snowshoe programs, there's cross-country skiing, and in fact you can snowmobile on the county roads, which are covered with snow, up into the national forest.
All of the continually adapting pioneers of Western American history have laid their claim on the City of Rocks in some form that you can discover on your travels. First, the Shoshone and Bannock tribes lived, hunted, and gathered pine nuts in the City of Rocks before the pioneers came through on the California Trail, which still exists today as it did back in 1843 when the park was known as the Silent City of Rocks. With the sheep and cattle drives that are still reenacted today, this part of the Western process saw another change back to an agrarian, rural industry that is still run much like it was back in the 1800s. As Wallace Keck tells us, the City of Rock's Backcountry Byway offers the history buff and amateur anthropologist an uncluttered view of the past.
Which starts in Albion or Oakley, depending on the direction you're going, and the loop is through City of Rocks back to the other town. So there's lots of history along the way, interpretive exhibits. Sightseeing is probably the first and most popular activity. Even rock climbers are enjoying the scenes from the pinnacles that they're climbing. So you have climbing, camping, hiking, wildfire watching, mountain biking, equestrian riding, and there's so much more. You're only limited by your own imagination.
"50 miles from Burley, Idaho is the Elmo Creek Outpost restaurant. While the restaurant is cozy, its food is big on taste. A prime rib taste, like you can only get in a ranching community at the end of a cattle-marked dust road. Along with serving range-fed beef burgers and their prime rib, they're building accommodations for travelers who will want to take time out from the television, telephone, hubbub of life and relax to a more simple and serene way of life. Sarah Ward, manager of the Elmo Creek Outpost, says both the food and the lodging are transcendent experiences.
The restaurant serves excellent hamburgers, but our specialty is ribeye steaks. And I will put our steak dinner up against any steak dinner anywhere. The premise for this whole motel unit, it's kind of creating an atmosphere of rustic elegance. So we're providing them with a place to visit their roots, their Western heritage, but yet they still have nice accommodations.
Don't forget to book your hotel and other accommodations so you can take advantage of all the activities in and around Elmo, Idaho. You can find a list of places to stay at TwinFallsChamber.com. Start planning your trip to the Twin Falls area right now. And you can subscribe to all of the TravelCast episodes for free at the iTunes Music Store or at TwinFallsChamber.com. Thanks for joining us, and visit all of scenic Idaho at visitidaho.org.